Hello and welcome to Open Line. I'm Starlene Stringer. Now when the afternoon school bell rings, educational and recreational opportunities do not have to end. The City of Irving offers several free and low-cost after-school programs for children and teens. Viewers are invited to submit questions via email and social media, and we'll get those answered throughout the show. Our guests are Senior Rec Specialist Kim Wilson, Police Officer Rosario Solis, Senior Librarian Stephanie Gimbel, and Teen Court Coordinator Jennifer Bezorgnia. Thank you all for being here. It is a pleasure to have you for sure. Now this is going to be a great show because a lot of parents are like, yes, keep the kids busy. What do we do? How do we get them involved in what you have to share? And so I'm glad you're all here. We're going to start with you, Kim. Let's start with you giving us the broad overview on the after-school program offered at Irving Rec Centers.
All of our full-time rec centers offer after-school programs for both Irving and Carrollton Farmers Branch ISD for those that live in North Irving that may not fall in Irving ISD school district. We offer them at Cimarron and Mustang, Lee, Northwest Center, and Georgia Faro Recreation Centers. Each service up to 1 to 3 schools depending on the location. It's $180 every 6 weeks. Some rec centers may offer weekly payment plans. You just have to contact your local rec center. And we do a bunch of activities to keep the kids busy.
Wonderful. That's definitely a good thing. Officer Solis is shaking his head going, that is definitely a good thing. And you know what else is really great? The programs y'all offer, particularly the police activity leagues. And I know there are a lot of people that may be new to the city that may not be familiar with them and those who just hadn't heard about them. So tell us what those are.
We do the physical fitness class, boxing classes, archery, tennis classes, and we also do the urban outdoors during the school holidays and during the summers.
Okay, so let's explain what some of that is, because for those who are really familiar with it, you're going, oh yeah, I already know, but for others they're going, what? What did he just say? So what are those programs particularly? Boxing, self-explained, most people know what boxing is, but what about the others?
The physical fitness class is Monday through Friday from 5 o'clock to 6:30. It's kind of a mini boot camp, I guess you could say.
Okay, boot camp type
it's
fitness
all,
class.
you know, again, physical fitness, push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, pull-ups.
You say it like it's nothing, like everybody just goes out there and goes, I think I'll do some sit-ups and push-ups today. But that's a lot of work for a lot of people, but it's something important that more people need to do, obviously, when you see the obesity rates lately, particularly in children.
Right, right.
So that's 2. And what was the other program?
We do the archery classes the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday of the month from 4 to 6. And then we just started our tennis program. Started last weekend. And it ends September 23rd, I believe.
So that's obviously how you keep in shape, and for those of you who want to keep in shape too, for those who want to get involved in these, you could almost do something every day, it sounds like. You have a lot going on.
Oh, definitely. Our tennis programs is Mondays and Wednesdays at our facility, and then on Saturdays we do it over at Irving High School.
Wonderful. Well, let's move on to our next guest for now. And Stephanie, let's talk about the library programs. We know it is very important to tell us what's going on at the library, and very important to get involved with the library, but just getting your homework done, that's very important too. And the library is a great place to do that. Why?
Well, we have quiet areas where people can study. We have study rooms and study carrels or quiet reading rooms. We have computers that the kids can use. They just need their Irving Library card to get on the computer, or if they have their own laptop, we have Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. We have printers if they need to print something off for their homework. Of course, we have plenty of books and magazines, and we have librarians that can help them find information for their assignments. We won't do their homework for them, but we can help them find the information.
The kids are going, what? We were hoping she'd say that. Yeah, but you're there to help.
Yes.
So that's definitely a good thing. And you're also there to help, Jennifer. I know teen court is not something people want to hear about their kids being involved in, particularly if they're in court. Correct. But teen court is definitely very helpful and does a lot. Tell us about it.
Well, Teen Court, like you mentioned, is a community service program for teen offenders. It's unique, though, in the fact that the judge is not the one who assesses how many community service hours, and neither do I. That's instead done by a jury of other teenagers. In addition to teen jurors, we have roles such as defense attorneys, prosecuting attorneys, bailiffs, court clerks, and all of those are roles run by other teenagers.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a little bit of fun. In fact, a lot of fun.
It is.
As long as you're not the one
Right.
that's in trouble.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about each thing that you guys just mentioned, because there's so much going on, and we want to make sure we break it down so that people understand and know what's available to them. So, Kim, let's come back to you. For kids who are in the after-school program, take me through a typical day. I mean, do you pick them up from school? What happens? What's the process?
Yes, in a typical day, at dismissal time, we'll pick the children up from the school, usually either on foot if it's close enough to the rec center, or by van, city van. We'll pick them up, bring them back to the rec center, usually start off with a snack. Irving ISD handles all of our snack needs for the after school program. We also then have like a homework time. We try to help them as much as we can. We're not an academic-based program, we're a recreation-based program, so we try to help them as much as we can with their homework, give them time to do that before they get to their other activities. Then we usually have gym games, arts and crafts, movie time, video games, all kinds of sorts of things for them to do and have fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. And you know what? A lot of parents, some of them may have been going, okay, I'm interested in what she's got to offer. But then when you said, you know, the food and the pickup in the afternoon, you got even more people listening now. So you mentioned the cost before, but could you recap that again? How much?
It's $180 every 6 weeks. It usually presides with their grading periods.
Okay.
You'll get a schedule usually of payments. When you sign up, you go into your local recreation center, whichever one services your school, and you sign up directly with them.
I was going to ask you that. So is it very simple to do? What do they have to fill out? A whole bunch of stuff? Bring anything with them?
It's a one-page, front and back. You know, your basic information about allergies and address and contacts and that sort of thing. And you also list everyone that's eligible to pick your child up from after school, because we do not release them to anyone that you have not given us permission to release them to. We ID everyone,
which is very important,
that comes in for safety and security reasons, and then you sign and date the back, and you're good to go and pay your fees, and you're good.
Awesomeness. You know what else is good? Hearing about boxing, because that's what we're going to talk about next. And Officer Elise, I know you're the expert at that, and we want you to tell us more about it, because you mentioned it just a little bit, but a lot of people are into boxing these days, and you know, they've been talking about it coming back to the Olympics, and we have a lot of locals that are really doing big things in boxing. And tell me about it here in Irving, the program that PAL offers.
Okay. Before anyone can actually get into the boxing program, they have to take place in the physical fitness class.
Okay.
And then from there, they kind of graduate on to the boxing program.
So you want to make sure they're in shape first.
Definitely.
That's definitely a smart thing. That benefits you if you're wanting to get involved. You want to make sure you could take care of yourself in the ring. Are you in the actual boxing ring, or are you just like, kind of like, I don't know the terminology, like hitting each other's gloves or sparring?
Right, sparring.
Okay.
You know, first we go, again, the conditioning, and then go through the skills. And, you know, before, when we first started back in 92, we just kind of put everybody in the ring and not really doing it, not really helping the kids out. You know, somebody get a bloody nose and that was it. They never come back. You know, boxing is a skill. It's a, you know, it's an art.
Good point.
So before before we actually put anybody in the ring, they'll know how to throw jabs, right crosses, and how to be able to defend themselves.
And what are the ages of people that get involved in boxing? Because I mean, when you mention, you know, bloody nose, moms are going, what? So, how old are they?
We start them as young as 8 years old.
Okay. Okay, but it's not just about, I mean, if you get a bloody nose, that's one thing and that's a bad thing for sure, but you're learning the self-defense when you take these classes, right?
Definitely. You know, one thing we tell the kids that, you know, while they're in the boxing program, if they are at school, or if I hear that they're getting in trouble in school, they're out of the boxing program. They go back to the physical fitness class and they start all over. Obviously, while they're part of the PAL, if they're members of the PAL, then they got to be a better example for the other kids. So.
And you said they start at 8, and then how old do they go?
Up to 18. As long as we don't take anybody over 18 unless they've been with us, or you know, they're trying to better themselves, going to college or something like that.
Do they actually compete? Like, is it a competition type thing or just a fitness type?
Oh no, we compete. As a matter of fact, at the end of the month, I'm taking 5 kids to California for the National PAL.
Oh wow, that's huge.
So, yes,
and another thing to point out too, I mean, you know, being a woman, I gotta ask this. So guys and girls are excited about the boxing?
Boys and females.
That's what I thought. A lot of women are getting into boxing these days. These young ladies.
Just at the last Olympics, they allowed, you know, women in the Olympics. So I'm hoping to get some more older females.
There you go. I will be a spectator, not a participant. That's all, not a participant. Okay, so let's also talk about some of the fitness classes. A while back, we got a look at one of the fitness classes that you've been talking about. So let's take a look at that real quick.
Before they can actually wrestle or box, they have to go through the physical fitness class.
Typical day here at the PAL would be you come in, warm up first 5-10 minutes. Probably end up doing about 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, about 100 jumping jacks. And then we also do what's called burpees. A jumping jack, push-up, all together.
Look at that. I mean, you were working them. That's good. A lot of folks are excited about it now. Actually seeing the video helps out. So for those who are watching right now going, I want to sign up, we're going to find out how you do it and how much it costs. Can you tell us, Officer Solis?
Mom or dad needs to come with them.
Okay.
Sign application. That's a 2-page application. Get them an ID. And there's no cost.
No cost?
The only cost is to be a member of USA Boxing, which is a $60 membership fee a year.
How awesome. That's really great. And where are you located?
We're at 1550 Rock Island Road across this facility.
Right across from ICTN? Perfect. All right, so let's talk to Stephanie now. Stephanie, one way teens can get involved with some groups called a YAC and y'all is something exciting too. What is it? It sounds fun to say, YAC and y'all, but what is it?
Well, YAC stands for Young Adult Action Council, and y'all stands for Young Adult Library Leaders, and they do a lot of helping the librarians to plan activities and present activities, and they're kind of advisory boards, so that we know what the young adults are interested in.
Smart.
You know, we're not all young anymore. So
Speak for yourself, right? Don't talk about us.
You know, helps us find out what their interests are, what kind of programs they'd like to have, and they help put them together and present them.
That's awesome. You probably find out they're pretty fun to hang around sometimes, huh?
Oh, yes.
Very, very different these days. The terminology, the way they abbreviate, and maybe you'll help the young people to stop putting things, you know, like IDK and stuff like that, and actually have them spell out words like we used to do. Moms and dads would appreciate that. So how do they get involved in those programs?
They can just come and join at either one of the libraries. They have y'all at the Valley Ranch Library, and they have YAC at the Central Library.
Perfect. Okay, now Jennifer, there are a lot of people who are excited when you talked about teen courts and that they're able to get involved. And there's a lot of young people, when you ask them, hey, what are you going to be? Y'all say, I'm going to be an attorney, or I'm going to be a judge. And that is awesome. And this is a great opportunity for them to get experience doing some of that work, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so how do they go about participating and signing up?
Well, we ask for a commitment for a 4-month term. And to begin that commitment, there's an orientation or training every Saturday. The next one that we have coming up is September 28th, and the last day for sign up for that is September 20th. So you'll go through the program all day. You'll find out how teen court fits in with the municipal court, and then in the afternoon we have attorneys come in who also serve as our adult judges, and they help those who have never been there before, learning about opening statements, closing arguments, objections, and how those work in the courtroom.
Very neat, very interesting, and what a great learning opportunity. All of these are really great for whether it's fitness or, you know, just getting them ready in the classroom or what they may do in the future, so thank you.
Definitely.
And Kim, I want to come back to you too. Speaking of the different events that they have going on and different programs you can be involved in, another popular one I know at the Rec Center is basketball. Tell me about that program.
Yes, they can come in during our open gym times, and we have basketball going on. They can check out a basketball, get an ID if they're 12 and older. If they're 8 and under, it usually costs about 25 cents to check a ball out, which they get back when they bring the ball back. We also have basketball classes. I know at Cimarron and Mustang, you can come in, and we have a basketball coach who's actually on the Egyptian national team. He comes in and does basketball skills and drills classes at our recreation centers Monday through Friday, Tuesday, Thursday at Mustang, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday at Cimarron.
So if people want to improve their game, it's the place to be, right?
Correct.
I love it. And what are the ages? Does it range?
Yes, it ranges. Usually, well, free play is open to anyone.
Okay.
If you are 8 and under, you need to be supervised by an adult.
Okay.
For the classes, he usually does about 5 and 6 up to about 13 or 14.
Awesome. And Officer Solis, I know we've mentioned you guys offer a lot of different types of sporting things too. One of them involves like bows and arrows. Talk more to me about archery.
The archery classes are during school year, and they're done on the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday of the month,
Okay.
from 4 to 6 o'clock. Now the ages for that is 10 to 18,
Okay.
and 10 because they're compound bows, and they're kind of hard to pull back. So
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
obviously most 8 and 9-year-olds not strong enough to pull the bows.
Some of us women, I'd be like, oh, no, seriously though, is that a competitive sport as well, or just for fun, or what?
That's more for fun. And actually, we partnering with Texas Parks and Wildlife, and we're hoping to start a bow hunting program.
Oh, very interesting. And I know there are some other activities also that are offered in the Urban Outdoors program. Tell me about those.
Right. That's again, those are usually during the summer and during school holidays. We do the rock climbing.
Oh, wow.
We normally go camping during Thanksgiving holidays, Christmas holidays, and again, do camping trips during the summers. We also do some fossil hunting. We do the kayaking, mountain biking.
Busy,
things of those
busy.
nature.
But good stuff, things that are unique. It's not just something
Right,
that
and
can
that's
do everywhere.
that's more not really sport oriented. Just kind of go out there and have some fun.
Fun and fitness too. It gets the kids
Exactly.
moving and keeps them in shape and reminds them the importance of staying in good shape. So that's awesome. All right, Stephanie, I want to talk to you because coming up very soon, October is right around the corner, and that is the month of the Big Read at Irving Libraries. What is that?
Well, the Big Read is where we try to get our entire community to read the same book. So for adults and for teens, it would be The Great Gatsby this year. We also have a book for the kids to read called Dave at Night, and Dave at Night also takes place during the Jazz Age. And then for the very youngest, because Winnie the Pooh was written during that same time in the 1920s, we have Winnie the Pooh.
I love that y'all put in a lot of thought into this, going, okay, so that it stays in the same time period. Even
Yes.
Winnie the Pooh is going to be connected with the Great Gatsby. I
Yes,
love
we're all
that.
celebrating the Roaring 20s.
Oh, awesome. And so this is at the beginning of October, or when exactly does it start?
We'll have activities all through the month of October, from movie showings to magic shows, because magic and Houdini were popular during the 1920s, to special story times with visits from Winnie the Pooh, just a whole host of activities. And you can always look on the website, which is cityofirving.org/library, and it will give you a list of all the activities.
And it'll tell you when Winnie the Pooh's going to be there?
Yes, Winnie the Pooh
Super
will be
cool.
visiting the different library locations at different story times, and we'll have movie showings, we'll have book discussion groups, we have author visits. The author of Dave at Night will be coming.
Oh, wow. And so do people go and sign up or let you know they're reading the book, or you just tell them this is the book and read it?
Well, we'll have some books to give away, and of
Oh,
course
wow.
we'll have books to check out, and the different book groups will be reading it throughout the city. But we just want everyone to get involved, and it's fun if everybody's reading the same book, then everyone can talk about it, and it brings the community together.
Sounds like it. When you do things like this, do you hear back from people the positive feedback and let you know what their thoughts are on it?
Oh, they let you know. They'll let you know if they like it, or they'll let you know if they don't like it.
Well,
Depending on which book we have. Every year we have a different book. So,
Awesome.
but this is one of my favorites. The Great Gatsby. It's kind of sad, but that time period is very interesting.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people like that book, and Winnie the Pooh. Who can fuss at you
Oh,
for that?
yeah.
You know? Okay, so since we're talking Winnie the Pooh and young people, let's talk about the after-school offerings for young people. What do you have?
Well, we have a variety of activities. Sometimes we'll have special activities for special days. Like coming up, we have Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Can you give us an example?
Of talking like a pirate.
I just had to put you on the
Arg.
Very good. Great job.
But we're using that to illustrate one of our databases that we have, which is called Mango, which is to learn foreign languages. But they also have pirate talk on that database, and we'll have pirate activities. We have movies. We have an anime club. We have a sign language circle. We have conversaciones where people come to practice English and Spanish together. Just a wide range of activities. Book clubs for the kids. In Valley Ranch, they have one called the First Look Book Club, and in Central Library, they have one called Kids Only Book Club.
Oh, wow.
Where they read a book each month, and then they do some fun activities based on that book.
So pretty much if they say, oh, there's nothing to do, I think
there's plenty to do.
They haven't been to the library lately. You need to go to the library if that's the case. And thank you for being a trooper and giving us that pirate talk. Very cool. We're going to come back to you in a little while, Stephanie, and ask you a bit more about what you're offering, because some of that was really, really fascinating. A lot of it was, but there's some more I want to ask you about. But Jennifer, I'm going to come to you first, because let's talk teen court. It is a good time for people to get involved because there's a training class, as you mentioned, coming up September 28th. What will happen during that training class?
The beginning portion will be whenever. We explain the teen court program because there's a lot of details that are easily missed when reading over, and how teen court fits within the municipal court as a whole. And then in the afternoon, as I mentioned, we'll bring in attorneys who also serve as our judges for teen court sessions, and they'll be training on the specifics of courtroom performance, objections, openings, closings, and how to interview your client if you're a defense attorney, how to review complaints and officers' reports, because these are real cases that are coming to us. So as the officers complete those narratives, they're forwarded to us, and we give those to the teens to review to help.
So it's important to be there for that training day.
Definitely.
For sure. It's necessary, mandatory, but it's an important reason why.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And Kim, let's talk fun. Okay, this is the time of year. Everyone's talking about fall festivals and carnivals, and I know there are going to be some here. Tell me about them.
Yes, you can check out the website. Each rec center does their own fall carnival to pretty much service the community around them. At Mustang Park, where I'm located, we're October the 18th. I know several have one on that date. I believe Lee Park. You can go to your local rec center. It'll have all 6 listed.
Good, and we also have it listed on the screens
yes,
right now
absolutely.
so they can see that.
Awesome. And we have that coming up. I mean, it's going to be bounce houses, carnival games.
Oh, wow.
Cakewalks.
You have to be little to get into
pumpkin
bounce houses. They're for kids,
all that
aren't
good
they?
stuff. Yeah. I don't know, some of those big ones I probably have trouble climbing up.
I know, they look fun, right?
Right.
So all kinds of great stuff going on. It's really a fun time for everyone.
Absolutely.
And you guys have done this in the past, so it's nothing new. And people really get out and participate and support these events, don't they?
Yes, they do. We have hundreds of people that come to our carnivals every year.
Wow,
of
and is
all
there a
ages.
cost?
Yes, there'll be a per ticket cost. Each rec center may be different.
Okay.
It's going to be probably around 25 cents a ticket, up to like $5 for $1, in that range. If you just contact your local rec center, they'll help you out with that.
Sounds like fun. Okay, hey, let's talk to Officer Solis before we run out of time. I want to ask him more about PAL. So, Officer Solis, for people who are going, okay, this sounds great, they have a lot to offer, what do you hope that kids actually get out of the PAL program?
Life learning experiences. You know, life is tough. It's not easy. The easy part is the quitting part. You know, I tell a lot of the kids that when they go and sign up, you know, the hardest part is sticking with the program.
That's right.
The easy part is the quitting part, but we don't want them to quit.
I like that. Very good advice. Don't quit. And I want to talk to you a bit more too, Stephanie, because I know a lot of kids are going, hey, there's a lot of fun stuff going on at the library. I want to get involved in it. Or maybe I want to learn to speak pirate like Stephanie just did. or maybe there's another language that they want to learn. And you mentioned briefly that they can do that. I think you mentioned, is it the Mango program and then another one you?
Mango is a database. We have lots of databases that you can get to free through our website, either in the library or from home. So Mango is one for learning languages. Of course, we have at the Central Library, they have a sign language table where they practice sign language.
Got this. Babies, I have a baby at home.
Yes.
More.
More. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
And
And teacher. I learned that today.
Oh, that's good. And they have conversaciones, which is where people who speak English, you want to learn Spanish, and people who speak Spanish, you want to learn English, sit around the table and discuss different topics. Usually there's a facilitator, and it's kind of a non-threatening, good way to learn and to practice conversational skills.
Mi español necesito mucho practicar porque es mal. I think I said it was bad. Did I do good? It was real bad. See, that's good. So you have people that speak English, talk with those who speak Spanish, and you kind of
Right,
correct
and we have
each other.
facilitator that's usually pretty fluent in both languages.
How awesome. Okay, good stuff. So they can easily find out that way. And then when you mention Mango, that's like an online thing. So you can do it in
Right.
person or online.
Exactly.
So it's convenient. And the sign language classes are for all ages, or how does that work?
Yes, all ages.
And what about the others?
Yes, all ages, and everything is free. So.
Awesome. Hey, Jennifer, let's talk a little bit more about Teen Court. Now, you've talked about why they have to come to the training classes and what they're going to actually do. And I've mentioned, too, that a lot of you out there watching, young people are going, hey, I may be a future attorney, or, you know, I may be whatever, a judge, something involved with the legal system. And this is a great opportunity for them to get involved. But since you've been doing it for years now, what kind of feedback are you getting? Do you have kids who are saying, hey, I'm going to go on through school and continue this, or what happens?
Oh, definitely. In fact, one of our attorney judges was actually a product of Teen Court.
Wow.
He started his freshman year, graduated, went on to law school, and now he's back to help those who come through our program.
I love that. And so you get that kind of feedback all the time?
Oh, most definitely. Problem-solving skills, public speaking skills, all of those things are honed because that's exactly what our teens are doing.
Awesome. Well, we're talking about how the teens benefit, and we've been talking about that a lot. But you know what? Adults, you can get involved too with the Teen Court program. How do these adults get involved that want to volunteer? What do they do?
Oh, definitely. Obviously, the teens make the program, but we couldn't do it without our adults as well. Supporting roles adults serve, such as the judges, as I mentioned. But we also have adults who check in our jurors, assign them to specific juries, and then as the defendants walk out after their case has been heard, we have adults sit down with them so that they can explain exactly what's required of them, when things are due back to the court, and how their case is dismissed.
Wonderful. And we're just about out of time, but I want to go back to Stephanie just for a minute here, Stephanie, and ask you another question about the library. You won't have to speak any pirate anymore, I promise.
Okay.
But I know you want to get children involved with the library and get them reading at a very early age. And how does story time help with that?
Oh, story time, I think, just develops a love of reading, and it also is a good modeling tool for parents. We have story times for babies. Mother Goose, we start very young. It's never too early to start, and then moves up to kind of the preschool, toddler age. The main thing, I think, is just instilling in them a love of reading and a love of the library, and associating reading with fun and associating reading with love, with that bonding between the parent and the child, or the caregiver and the child.
And where can people get more information about story time online?
Online on the website, or call the library.
And the number?
The number, well, there's different numbers for
All
different
kinds of numbers,
branches.
but we have the information on the screen so people can get involved, or just log onto the website, which is the easiest way to do
That's
it, to
the
get
easiest way.
information. So, and story times listed for each different library and location.
Yes.
So that's important too, because y'all have a lot of libraries to choose
We
from.
do,
You make
we
it
do.
convenient. So that's good. And you guys have really, really been helpful today by giving us all this information. No one has an excuse here in Irving to not get involved and do something, whether it's from fitness at the rec center, or doing events with PAL, or even volunteering your time and helping out with the judicial system here with Teen Court. And you know, that might be a good idea for parents to help their kids stay out of the legal system or getting in trouble with police. Go over there and spend a little time at Teen Court and see what it is that they do. And how do they go about volunteering? They just sign up?
There is an application available online,
And I know that training class you mentioned.
most certainly, and if they have any other questions, they're welcome to call the Teen Court.
Perfect. So that's all the information about the Teen Court. We've got everything down. Officer Solis, thank you. And then Kim, those fall festivals and carnivals, going to be
Coming
fun.
up.
Did
Yes,
you mention the
absolutely.
food? What are we going to have to eat there?
Oh, we'll have carnival food. So
Candy apples?
I don't know if they have
Cotton
candy,
candy?
but cotton candy.
Oh boy, funnel cake.
Funnel cake, corn dog, footlong corn dogs, chicken fingers.
Oh
all
my
that good
goodness.
stuff.
After eating all that, we're going to need to be at the rec center
Yeah,
working out, right? And
exactly.
going over to PAL and doing some stuff too. Thank you all for being here. We definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I'm Starlene Stringer. Please be sure to join us on Thursday, October 10th at 1:30 p.m. for our next edition of Open Line. It will be a special edition on location at the Irving Convention Center. Now, if you have questions, go ahead and get those in by emailing ictn@cityofirving.org, or connect with us on Facebook. That's on our next edition of Open Line. We'll see you then.